Welcome to another edition of ZARR'S Spotlight of the
Welcome to ZARR'S Spotlight of the Month TV show. Who will be this month's Spotlight entertainer? Sit back, enjoy, and tell a friend to watch ZARR'S Spotlight of the Month TV show.
I'm here today with award-winning jazz ensemble pioneers in the DMV area, PHAZE II. I'm here today with Mr. Steve Perkins and Mr. Adrian Norton. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So you guys have been in this business for a while. Since 1997? Is that about right?
That's correct.
So tell us a little bit about how you came together, forming as a group first of all, and how you came up with the name, the concept of PHAZE II, and what that means. Anybody?
Well, we have PHAZE II. We used to be called Forecast.
Forecast. Okay.
Yeah, we used to play up in Silver Spring at Bailey's. Okay. And that's actually how I met Steve. He came up there to see us play, and we didn't have a percussion player. So then the band, it'd be like bands go through their phases, and we disbanded, and then we started over, and then Steve came up with the name PHAZE II.
Okay. What is it? Oh, so PHAZE II of the band itself. Okay, that's pretty cool. Kind of like a transition in a sense. All right, cool. So, what is it? What do you have? What's a 6-piece percussion order? What is it? Tell me how your group is made up as far as your band members and all.
It's 6 of us, depending on the occasion, what you want. We do a vocalist, which will be the 7th piece. Okay. Sometimes we're requested to do R&B events, which will ask us to bring a singer. Sometimes, we just do the jazz thing, and the sax player, he'll do it himself, and then that's 6 of us with the saxophonists.
Like, you all write your own music, or you do some other music that's given to you? How you do that?
It's a little bit of both. We write music, we do covers, but we do our own interpretation. Then it's actually songs are presented, and we like the last record we just did, No Cover Charge, came out in March. It's 3 songs on it that were done. 2 were given by what's her name, Kendall King. Okay. She wrote them. We just did a different arrangement of the songs. Okay. And then another song, In the Pocket, was given to us by Alfonso DeSale. He's a keyboard player. Okay. And so we just go in and do our own little spin on them, and just come up with the music.
So what's your preference? You prefer to do your own music, or you just enjoy music in general, so it all kind of works out?
I mean, it's we started doing our own thing, and that was the original purpose, but we, like Adrian said, we've been doing the backup thing for the last 5-6 years strong. Yeah. Probably a little longer than that. So I never saw it happening like that, but whatever, it's working, and we're having a good time with it. But we got 5 CDs out, and we do our own original music. Okay. So it's either or, but I like performing. Yeah.
And I've attended a few of your performances. I think probably a couple maybe at the Blues and Supper Club. I know the one in Alexandria, Virginia, I believe. I forget the name of the place.
Carlisle?
Yeah, Carlisle. Yeah. That's what I was.
Yeah, that's a nice venue.
Super busy. I was supposed to meet you guys, but everybody was rolling. I was like, did these brothers do what they got to do? Yeah. But no, so you have a unique sound. Even though you do other people's music too, but you still have your own unique twist to it, which is a good thing, because I deal with a lot of singers and they sing other people's songs and try to sound like them, as opposed to developing their own style. And that's fine too if that's what they want to do. But what stands out the most is the uniqueness of the groups. Right. So, as a performer, y'all been working together for a while. So you obviously looked at as a public figure in the community? Do you see yourself as that? And a lot of folks, and I say that because a lot of folks don't. Sometimes when you're used to you're performing and you're doing your thing, even though you're getting exposure and all that, you tend not to see yourself on a public figure or celebrity platform, but folks know you. So that's kind of what you are. You don't have to. If other people are saying it for you, you don't have to say it for yourself, right? Right. Yeah. But being that that's the case, did you see there's a sense of accountability in what you do and how do you handle your business as it's being seen by other folks?
Oh yeah, because you don't want to be known for having raggedy business, because you got, a lot of times you might need to call somebody to fill in, or a referral, and then they'll be, oh no, don't fool with them, man. They got their business shady. Yeah. So if you got good business, when you call people, normally you don't have a problem, needing somebody to fill in for you, certain gigs or whatever have it, and then people that call you, they'll say, hey, I heard you come highly recommended. Correct. So you want to keep, your name, with a good background. You want to have a bad name, because you come to find out that the gigs are dry up on you because nobody don't want to do any business with you because your business practice is bad.
So one thing that does happen in the DMV, it happens in other places, but since we're in the DMV, that's what I'm referring to. Mm-hmm. You will get blackballed or blacklisted. And the thing is, it may not even be a legitimate, statement that was made about you.
That's true.
They just, folks took something and ran with it and not even investigated themselves. And it happens in the film industry.
And the city's small.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of folks here, but it's small.
Yeah, cause compared to New York and LA.
Yeah.
In Chicago, cities like that, it's small.
Yeah.
So
it's actually building up quite a bit, though. We got some folks doing some things and I'm trying to do some things that's trying to bring a lot of the business here. We just got to get our mindset together so that when people bring it here, we don't disappoint those who've been talking us up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we got to step our game up.
Right.
Just above what is normal, so that when people see you, they can say, okay, I understand these folks, but with these folks,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So you don't really want to. So when I introduce, if you get like a room full of folks, and you have someone that's trying to make some determinations on who they want to go with, and everybody's doing the same thing, right? Like you go around the room, okay, you're a musician, you're a musician, you're a musician, you're a musician, you're a musician. And everybody say the same, and they kind of all good, right? There was nothing that stood out of that. But you go around the room, you're a musician, you're a musician. Yes, I'm an award-winning, multi-award-winning musician. I've done this, and here's what we stand for. It puts you a little above it. The other ones could have done the same thing, but they didn't represent themselves that way. You hear what I'm saying? So sometimes, when I introduce myself, I always say, not to brag, but I say, hey, I'm a multi-award-winning filmmaker, independent filmmaker, actor, whatever. And folks look in, they check it out, they validate it.
Right.
And they cool with that, because that means that you've done something to push you past that standard, that normal thing. You know what I'm trying to say, right? All right, so where do you see yourself going in the next 10 years?
Who knows? I mean, and as Adrian said, we alluded to a minute ago, perception is everything. 20 years ago, or 22 years ago when we got together, I had a gut feeling. I knew we were going to be successful, but I didn't know what it would look like.
Correct.
Sometimes you don't know what it looks like, but I mean, if we continue to do what we're doing, sky's the limit. I got 10 years left in me. You do too. And it's only getting better. It's 23 years, and just when you think it can't get any better than it has, here we playing with acts that I used to pinch myself thinking about some of the people I grew up idolizing. Now I'm on stage with them.
Yeah.
Regina Bell, El DeBarge, stuff like a Grammy Award winning artist, and we on stage, we hanging out with them. So and God has only continued to bless us even more and more. So I think we'll still be in it.
Yeah. The only thing stopping you is yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you shut it down when you shut it down.
Shut it down.
He may close doors, but he opened them when you've learned what he needs you to learn. Sometimes that's just a timeout that you need sometimes, or we need sometimes. But you said 10 years, brother. You have no idea. He may give you 20.
Whatever he got for you, he got for you.
As long as your fingers are working, and you know the age ain't gonna stop you. Arthritis might kick you a little bit because you be beating those drums and things.
Nobody knows what God has in store for you, though. Whatever it is for you, it's gonna be for you anyway.
It's 2 dates you can't control: when you're born and when you die. You can only try to control what happens in between.
In between, yeah.
And
try to leave a mark, you know.
Yeah. Try to, with me, what I do, my focus is, you know, I got a daughter and son, and then people that I try to mentor, whatever. I try to create a legacy, something that when they think back, they can say, okay, I remember him from this, or he made a difference because of this.
Right.
You know, they may forget after that, you know, a little longer, but you know, that's my goal. So you all have done festivals and contests. Talk a little bit about that. What's that like? Because I know it's a lot of different groups.
Oh yeah. Well, we did the 2005 Capital Jazz Challenge.
Okay.
Which was a competition that Cliff Hunt and Capital Jazz folks started, just to kind of spotlight independent up-and-coming artists.
Okay.
You know, you submitted a tape, and you know, fill out the form, and they picked the top 6 that they felt, you know, represented pretty well. Then you had 15 minutes to perform.
Wow.
And then they choose a winner, and we actually won in 2005.
Awesome.
Yeah, we did our 15 minutes, but we had a gig in Charlestown, a birthday party. So we had to leave. So we couldn't even stick around and see who won.
Wow.
You know, so we on 70, and they called us telling us, yo, man, y'all got to come back tomorrow because y'all won. So, you know, we just went in there, did the job, you know, and just let the judges decide, you know.
Tell them the story behind it, Eddie. Tell them the story, bro.
The story behind it.
If you don't, I will.
What's that?
Well,
you talking about the tape?
You know,
Maybe.
I heard, you know, we heard that they were doing the Capital Jazz Challenge.
Okay.
And we needed a video. And just so happened, we had a nice video that somebody had just recorded for us at one of the local establishments. And Adrian said, you know, man, we should submit a video to regarding this Capital Jazz Challenge. We may be selected. I said, dude, people submit probably hundreds of videos and tapes. They ain't gonna pick us. You know, they not gonna pick us. And then, you know, he said, okay, and he let it go. Never said anything else about it. Well, maybe 3.5 weeks, a month later, he called me up. I was at work. He said, we were selected to perform at the Capital Jazz Challenge. I said, how is that possible when we didn't even submit a tape? He said, well, I did. You know, I said, well, he said, and I, you know, that's really what started that tape started everything. You know, we got on the jazz. Not only did he submit the tape, but we got on and we won.
Yeah.
And that kind of, you know, catapulted us to where we are now to some degree. So, just
gotta take a chance, man.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Gotta take a chance.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it was.
Ruby, the film Ruby, what was it? The Neo Soul Film Festival was one of the 100 top festivals out of LA. I submitted every year, but I submitted for last year, and there was like 1,000 filmmakers that submitted their piece, right? Their films. I came in the top 100 out of those 1,000 to be selected to be screened at the festival, right? Out of that one, I got the iconic Best Film Award. And out of that came the distribution deal I was telling you about. So you never know. You just have to do your best on what you're doing and put it out there. And you still may be your biggest critic.
Right. Well, you're always going to be your biggest critic. That's always.
To an extent, it can always be better. And you know, you can always make it better. But you know, you have to roll with it, accept what you're getting with that, and make the next one just that much better.
Exactly.
It was great, and you allowed me and my wife to come hang out at the viewing, man. And you could tell that it takes a lot, to make what you made. It was a great film, and you actually gave me my copy. So
of course, I gave you a copy.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no. So we're gonna work on some stuff. The soundtrack comes in during the post production, but that's even better because then you got all the footage. You can see what needs to be adjusted and that kind of thing to make it even better. But back to your music, not my film. For the aspiring musicians or the current musicians that they may be focusing on either the creative side of the business or the business part. What, from your experiences, what kind of information can you offer them, or suggestions can you give them to help push them a little further, to bring them to where they need to be?
You just got to put the work in. Make sure as far as musician is, you practice, study the music. Make sure always be prepared. Make sure your business side's on is like 75% of the game for real. Show up on time. Somebody hire you, do a gig, go to rehearsal, show up on time, learn the music. That way you'll get repeat phone calls, because your best impression is your first impression. So if you come in, somebody hire you, the rehearsal's at 7, you show up at 7:30. Okay, that's one strike. Okay. Then they go through the songs. You say, oh, I ain't get a chance to get to that song. Okay. They ain't calling you no more. So you gotta be prepared. Just make sure your business is intact. If you write original music, get a copy written. Because if you don't, you out here playing it. You hear it on the radio from somebody else because they'll steal it. So, you just got to make sure you...
That's an important fact right there. Because I know folks that... All right, so it's okay to get you a select group of individuals to review your work. Trusted individuals to review your work and give you their opinion of it. But you don't want to put it out there. And I say that with the filmmakers and stuff, or even the songwriters, because folks will take that. If you haven't copywritten it, even if you take the poor man's approach to copywriting, which is mailing it to yourself.
Still a copyright.
It's a copyright.
Yep.
It's like a sealed document dated, with your stuff in it. But you got to do that, man, because once somebody use it, and there's a venue, and I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to do that, but there's a place where folks are bragging about for watching movies. And I just recently found out that once it's there on their platform, they rename your stuff sometimes without your permission. So you really got to have your stuff locked down and know what you got. So this video right here, this session, tell me a little bit about this how this came about, as far as where this was done, and I see your man on the saxophone. Oh
yeah, that's Brent Burkhead. He's in New York doing big things now. We shot that video a few years back. We did it for a lady named Keenan. She had a spotlight thing she was doing. Okay. And she was up in Montgomery County. Okay. And we went up there, and she said, "Yeah, I like your band. I want y'all to come up here and perform for us, but I'm gonna shoot the video." Yeah. It's like, all right, cool. We didn't have pretty much not an up-to-date video at the time, so I'm like, okay, we do a gig, get paid, and shoot a video. Okay. So, and it was she videoed the whole set. I mean, it's like almost 2 hours. Yeah. Yeah, the whole set. We had a nice little crowd in there, nice little intimate crowd in there. So we did play in front of a live crowd. So that gives you that vibe. If the crowd's receptive, that's where you get your vibe from. So, and the video came out pretty good.
All right. And you say, so is he still with the band?
Who, Brent?
Yeah.
Off and on, more off than on, but he lives in New York.
Okay.
He's played with Lauryn Hill. He was on TV with the Jonas Brothers, Jimmy Fallon, a couple of other shows. I seen him do people, Jesse J. Christmas. So he's played at the Blue Note, bunch of places, been all over the world.
Yeah, so that kind of brings me to a question I was thinking about, because I would imagine in music, especially with bands, they've been doing it since bands has been out there. Sometimes you get together and somebody decides that they want to go do their own thing, solo, take the solo route. How does that working as far as Phase II Band? Have you been seeing that quite a bit, or it is?
Well, for us, it hasn't been as much of an issue because he and I are the two components of Phase II.
Okay.
It's myself and Adrian Norton. Others are they're paid musicians, like contractors.
Okay.
Even though we have guys that have been with us for a number of years.
Yeah.
And we like to call them Phase II as well.
Okay.
However, from a technical perspective, and I guess a realistic perspective, he and I are the only two on paper as Phase II.
Ah.
From a business perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't go there, but I was thinking.
So you may see. You may be playing drums next week.
I might be. I used to do that.
But you know what, dude? It's okay. So we have guys that come and play with us. Fortunately, we've been able to stay in our camaraderie because, like I said, we've had the same 4 cats that have accompanied us for the last almost 10 years.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So I know you all just worked on some new music. That's no cover charge.
That's it.
All right. So where are you going from here? What's the game plan?
Well, we just decided we're going to do a Christmas project.
Okay.
So between now and maybe the second week, or maybe as the fall comes in, we'll be putting that project together. We typically don't put timelines on our stuff. We just hang out. We just do it. So that's going to be CD number 6 for us.
Okay.
I've always wanted to do a Christmas project.
That'd be awesome.
So we're gonna be that's gonna be in the works real soon, and whatever else God has for us, we're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's cool. I would try not to put timelines on when I'm doing movies and all that. Sometimes I have to kind of stretch it out or give it like a little time frame or whatever. But I don't like to tell people about the timeline.
Right. Yeah. That's when you create the deadline, when you start telling them.
Pressure, man.
Yeah.
Everybody getting patient about different things because they don't understand that all is involved. Especially from like the actors, they just want to know when they're gonna get their script, when they can act, and then after that, okay, when are we gonna cover the movie? Like, back off. So. Yeah, it takes time to do what you got to do and make it right, and
especially doing independent.
Absolutely.
Money. So you want to make sure your product is good when it's completed.
Yeah, that's a tough thing, man, because most of us under the independent label, we don't have like a bankroll just sitting on the side. We using from probably some bills that we currently have. Unless we got investors or some people that's trying to promote,
and everybody doing
sponsors.
GoFundMe.
And I know they have resources. They have grants and things that you can get, especially in the DMV with them. Was it DC Create with the mayor and all in his office, where they putting things together. But you got to be able to write and submit grants, applications, and all that stuff to do it. So you got a little time that you're working with. Real quick, and last thing is, how can the audience find you on social media? And do you have any final words just of encouragement or suggestions for artists currently out there? And you can look at the camera and tell them.
Well, yeah, we on Facebook, Reverb Nation, Spotify, Bandcamp.
Okay.
CD Baby. CD Baby is actually the first site we put our music. You got all our stuff. We're on Amazon. We're on all of them. And then we got our own website, PHAZE2Jazz.com. That's the number 2, jazz.com. But we on just about all of the music sites, iTunes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go in there and put in PHAZE II, PHAZE, Roman numeral 2, and if that doesn't come up, just throw jazz behind it, and then it'll come right up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's been a hell of a journey. It's having fun. Yeah. And you know what I would say to the cats that want to get into business is, first thing is to be true to yourself.
True.
Shoot from the hip. Be straight up. And and keep your integrity and your wits about yourself.
Yeah.
And that will carry you and keep him first. Sky's the limit at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, it's been real. I enjoyed it. We've been working trying to get you here for a while. Yeah, timing works out better sometimes, you know, and hopefully get you back with your instruments, because we do like to get people out to do their performances also. And we rearranged the set, by the way, for that, because I know you need a little more room for all your instruments and all that.
Yeah, we come back and play.
Come back and
That
play.
sounds like it work.
Let the folks know what you just show the folks what you can do, and once it airs, I'll share with that. Basically, the show airs every month at the end of the last fourth week of the month, on a Tuesday, Friday, and that Sunday. And after it airs, then I put it on YouTube so that you can have it to use there. Because sometimes some of us are not in Virginia to see it when, but you do want to be able to see it. So I'll provide that to you also, and you can use that with your collection to do what you need to do.
Yeah, appreciate that.
All right, so that's going to do it for this edition of KZAR Spotlight of the Month. And once again, we'll join you next time as we spotlight another guest in the DMV. Thank you.